that we start the show. Welcome into the Dan K Show Desk Show, live from Estero, Florida. We're at Hertz Arena at the Florida College Showcase. It has been so much fun to be here. We have been here since 6 a.m. and we're going to be here until 12 a.m. And one person who's decided to grace us with his presence is to my right. But I can't start the show, and I apologize, unless I introduce the man to my left.
That's right.
He is my left-hand man. I'm his consigliere. This is Dan K. Dan, welcome into the Desk Show.
This is a big moment for me, Lucas, because a handful of years ago, before a pandemic, before everything, a hockey team was blossoming at a school that I once called home. And folks asked, what is this hockey thing? Why is it so much work? Why does it seem so important? And I continue to tell them you will be getting a different type of athlete, a different type of person, and a different type of academic when you bring a hockey team to your campus. And this man has led the charge from day one. He continues to do so. Head coach Kyle Wallack of the Albertus Magnus College Falcons. Coach, we thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I always say Dan K is our most famous alum, so it's still running around campus. But excited to be down there, excited for this little quick pre-scout of Southwest Florida, of what we got to come.
And, you know, Lucas, I've heard this, rumors, murmurs up there. They haven't had a parade yet for me because it's tough to get routes in New Haven. Just tough streets to find routes for the parades up there. So we'll keep holding off for that one. But for now, Coach, I'll tell you what, you can have a parade for just how much growth this team and organization has had since you launched it. You look this year, beating a team like Wesley and hanging in tough with a team that's in the top 10 like Trinity, battling them in a tough scrap just before this break. Talk to me about growing a team at the NCAA Division III level from scratch and then continuing to cultivate it. What has that process been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've said it before. It's been it's challenging, frustrating, rewarding. We've seen it all, and we didn't have a puck to start this thing, as you know, and had a $7 million rink renovation, first group of all freshmen, which was like playing on a junior team with all 17-year-olds. Young, exciting, enthusiastic, but young and dumb at times too. So, but those guys were foundation builders. They took a chance on me and the school, and now 5 years later, we've beaten programs like Plattsburgh and Trinity and Wesley, and like you said, and put ourselves in a position to be in the top 25 every year.
And you look at it, folks, Albertus Magnus College is a school that I got a chance to call home, and it's a school that a lot of people don't know enough about. In the middle of the city of New Haven, just down the road from Yale, in the bevy of it all, you got an hour and 10 minutes to New York City, you got an hour and 10 minutes to Boston, Massachusetts, and you got New Haven right in your backyard with the best pizza in all the land. Yeah. And this is a university that, when I was introduced once at MLB Network to a speaking engagement, someone said I went to Adolphus Marinus, and that was disappointing.
Is that three schools all combined?
I think it's like, I was waiting for him to call it Prego Marinara or something, but it's a situation where we've gone from that to a world now where you have a hockey team that is top-notch. You've got a basketball team up there in the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team with three different women in the top 10 scorers in all the country right now of active scorers career-wise. It's an exciting time to be at a school that's growing at an exciting rate.
Yeah, we've been growing at a high pace. Our president, Mark Camille's, been here 8 years, and he's been a huge influence on that, on the growth of the school through athletics. And, facilities alone with our student center, with our weight rooms now, with our training rooms and team rooms, and the resources are there to provide these kids a great student-athlete experience, I think. We got the best pizza in the world, and I'll die on that sword. You can ask my guys. They know it. I talk about it enough. But but it's an awesome college city. We're not a Division III school in the middle of the sticks. We got a great city. We got 5 schools right within 2 miles of each other. Yale and Quinnipiac, 2 G1s right there. So tons to do for our guys. New York City's down the road, but New Haven's an awesome city and a great college town.
And now let's talk a little bit about these players that you've brought in. Obviously the guys that were sold on the pizza pitch. By the way, Pepe's modern. What guy are you?
I'm a modern guy. But Sally's is modern for cheese, Sally's for sauce. That's all I say. But I'm not kicking.
Frank's for the white clam. You go for the white clam at Frank's. That's
for sure.
Guy knows. Guy's been around, Lucas. Okay, he's been around the pizza game up there. But talk to me about this leadership group you guys have this year. Kind of introduce the folks to who they're going to see wearing the C's and the A's when you guys take the ice down in Tampa.
Yeah, our leadership group, Sam Anderson, Tyler Ignazito, and Timmy Manning, been great players for 4 years. They've grown as humans. They've kind of taken the torch from Ryan Herpy and Cam Weitzman, who were actually leaders for 5 years, through a pandemic. And, we haven't missed a beat with those guys. I think it was passed down from Ryan and Cam on down, and the job that those guys do in the room takes a lot off of our plate as a staff.
Yeah, and you look at this team right now, guys like Peyton Hicks, who we've had a chance to see a lot of. He's had a big part in this team. Can you kind of talk about some of those diamonds in the rough we might be looking for? You get into a tournament-style atmosphere, depth in scoring I always talk about, getting goals from places you don't expect it.
Sure.
Who are some of those guys we should be watching out for when we turn on Flow Hockey?
Yeah, a guy like Peyton Hicks came in as a freshman last year, was a really good offensive kid in the NCDC, but hit the weight room in the spring and summertime. It was a huge difference for him. He changed his body, got confidence because of it, learned how to play a little bit of defense now, and getting a little bit held more accountable. But the rewards been showing off because of the work he did in the spring and in the summertime. Kyle Dan's another one who played in the AHL, is doing a great job for us. But it's been great to see, even like Sam Witt, Connor Bertamini, two guys from Calgary that are top defensemen for us that, hey, they were in and out as freshmen. They grew. They worked their tails off to do what they needed to do to prosper, and they're getting bigger roles as what came from it.
Now, Lucas, I don't want to take up the whole interview just because I'm excited to have it. Why don't you ask Coach some questions here?
Well, you are Albertus Magnus' most famous alumni, as you continue to
I would say
me.
Chelsea Sherrod should have a bone to pick with that. She's working on Nesson and everywhere else.
And she might. And
You're top 5, though. Come on, you got to
top 5, top 10. I got to be top 5.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
You're my one spot.
Here's the thing. I invite Chelsea and any other Albertus alumni. You can chirp Dan. We're getting everyone to chirp Dan in his DMs this weekend. Absolutely fire away. Coach, I want to talk to you about this event. You're a familiar face at events around the country. We run into you quite a bit. When you're at an event here in December right before the holiday break, what are you evaluating? Besides the obvious, right? Everybody can scout the top goal scorer in a game, but what is a guy like you looking for at an event?
Yeah, at an event like this, we try to look for something different, whether it's 6'5", goaltender that, we might not find in a different league. We got Peter Keese, who played for the Charlotte Rush last year, who's about 5'2" on his tippy toes, as we'll say, but he's been a great freshman. He's been an impact freshman. He skates like the wind, elite skater, moves pucks. He's probably the all-time, I shouldn't say all-time, but one of the top assist scorers in the USPHL of all time.
He's the all-time games played leader in the history of the USPHL as well. Most games played.
I like that, and he's a redhead too, So, but I think you can find a lot of different pieces to the puzzle down here, and I think it transitions to success at the college level.
Now, you talked a little bit about how the program has grown from, like you said, not even having a puck to now. When you reflect on the last handful of years, do you sometimes have to pinch yourself when you're sitting in your office or you're running practice to say, stop and think, wow, look what we've done in just a short amount of time?
Yeah, I haven't pinched myself yet, but I could probably write a book of what we've seen, that's for sure. And honestly, we've had a lot of help from a lot of different people, whether it's financially or assistant coach-wise. We've done a great job not just developing our guys, and I think we do that as well as anybody in the country, but our assistant coach have developed into coming here for a year or two, moving on. We got Brian Fahey, who's up at Dartmouth as an assistant now. Jack Riley's at West Point. Yeah. Matt Alvey's in prep school at Albany Academy. Vin Fensori's in at Wasserman, one of the top agencies in the country. So, we've gotten to develop those guys. They've given back. They still stay in touch, and they're excited about the growth we've had too. So it's been fun and rewarding and exciting. And we've kind of seen it all, which has been awesome. Through and through. And that was the goal of taking this opportunity on.
And I think one of the things for the student athlete out there that might be watching or listening in on Spotify, iTunes, where this airs after this interview, or on YouTube, from anywhere in the country, from anywhere outside the country, thinking about a place to play. One of the exciting things I found when I transferred there as a junior, you kind of can be a king of the campus if things go right for you. You can be a king academically. You can be a king in terms of social life. You can be a king in terms of just the day in and day out, because it is a small enough school where you can make your name known and make your presence felt. but it's not too small where you feel like you're not making a difference. And I think that's a really exciting avenue for an athlete to really partake in.
Yeah, you're not going to get lost. There's about 2,000 students, and like I said, with New Haven, there's so much to do, which is awesome. But you are. I think our athletes are king of the campus. They're known. They know each other. They support each other. The support, and even year one when we didn't have juniors or seniors, we were all freshmen, right? So we're sending 25 guys over to the soccer game and 25 over to field hockey to start building that network, and you get the reciprocation from the other programs, which has been great. So,
and I'll tell you what, I haven't worked a day in my life, it felt like, or feels like, doing things like this. And I did that with a degree from Albertus Magnus College. So they do a great job in the sports management department, set me up to go to University of New Haven, top 3 in the country in the master's level of that program, the business program at Albertus. There's so many opportunities on the academic side. Kind of touch on that for a student athlete who's coming and thinking, what do I major?
Yeah, being a smaller liberal arts school, private school, there's tons of opportunity, wide range of majors. Probably 70% are in some form of business, but between Albertus and Wall Street, about an hour and 15 minutes, there's a ton of opportunities down that 95 corridor. Now we're starting to get alums. We got guys playing pro hockey. We got guys in grad school. We got guys working on Wall Street. So we got guys doing a lot of different things, being a younger program. And, you want to play over in Sweden or France, we got guys doing that now. You want to work on Wall Street, we got guys doing that. So now we're building our program, we're building our network, and, I think it's just been really rewarding for our guys to kind of keep giving back, too.
Now, you guys already broke through a wall by starting a brand new team from scratch. Then you decide to break through a wall and go down to Tampa for a mid-season tourney, right, and take on some really tough sides, both from New England and the Midwest. When you get this call, what makes you go, yup, we're in, let's make this investment? Because that's what I love. I love folks who make investments for their student athletes, and you guys are doing just that with this event.
Yeah, and I know I listened to Nordy, I listened to Graham talk before, and the hockey world's small. The college hockey world is really small, and I've known all 3 of those coaches for a long time, which has been awesome. And Nordy brought it up to me in a rink just like this. I said, we're in, we'll figure it out, right? So we want to provide our kids the best experience possible. We've taken private jets to games. We're going down to Tampa here. We want a first-class experience for our guys. We'll go fundraise and do what we need to do to make it a Division I experience.
Yeah. Lucas?
Yeah, I think one of the things we've been talking about on the Dan K Show the last few weeks is this idea, especially for college hockey, of cooperation and then competition, right? It's working together to promote the individual school brands, the idea of college hockey as a whole, and then you finally hit the ice and you get to compete like heck for 60 minutes, right? And so I get the sense that your program is doing that, and then with all the schools that are going to be at this Tampa College Invitational, that's what the theme has been. It's let's work together to make this event fantastic, and then let's go try to win a couple of hockey games on the weekend.
Yeah, it was a lot of work from our Albertus family, not just our school, but our families, our parents, our donors that helped make this work. And it's an expensive trip, and you try to make it work so these kids have a first-class experience. And you get down here, we'll enjoy the sun a little bit, but at the same time, you're here to win a trophy. And I think that's the nice part about playing in tournaments. You got a chance mid-season to win a trophy, and I think that's what all 4 coaches will be playing for, especially us.
Coach, we want to make sure we keep this safe for TV, but I brought your name up. I said, I know Coach Wallack pretty well on the first call with the other coaches leading the way for Milwaukee and for Tufts, and they said, oh, good luck with that. I mean, why were they laughing about you? What do they have on you here? What are they feeling about
I
you?
got chirped about my tapered pants from Nordy the other day. I haven't thrown any daggers yet, but I don't know why they would do that. But ultimately, 4 great guys, I think, as the coaches are here. And I'm not going to throw any daggers. We don't need to give up any bulletin board material for the other staffs, but honestly, 4 great programs that are going to duel it out. I'm excited for it. I'm sure they are as well, too. But I'm sure we'll have some fun when we're down there.
And I'll tell you what, right now, 3 of the 4 broadcasters on the panel have selected Albertus Magnus College to not just win Game 1, but the event. So you are right now the broadcaster's favorite to win it all. It will be exciting to see.
No pressure.
Zero pressure.
Well, I'm not playing, so I'm good, So, but
Coach,
hopefully get a little tan, though. We'll see what we got.
That's the goal. I mean, you guys got lucky because you're obviously, you come down here each and every year. You come to this event. It was freezing cold until this week.
Sure.
It has been. I've had the fireplace on. I might get made fun of, but it gets under 50 down here. I put the fireplace on. I stop hitting the links.
You're getting softer, I hear.
Blood's real
in
thin
more
for
ways
Dan K.
than one. This is the midsection everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know, you stop hitting the gym as much at this age.
Yeah. That's what Nordy and I were talking about, his workouts, you know.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And the first dagger's been thrown. And
There you go. Had to slip one in.
As we get to the end of this and we get you back to your day and your work here this weekend, I guess for the athlete at home, the student athlete, I always talk about having your elevator pitch ready, right? Coach doesn't want to hear a diatribe about why you want to play with them, but you should have something short and sweet to be able to introduce yourself to a coach and put yourself on a radar. How does a player get themselves on the Albertus Magnus College radar, and what type of player do you need to be to succeed in your program?
Yeah, I think first off, we want to recruit the A-level competitor. For me, from day one, it's been if we're going down swinging. We want warriors as people. We want leaders, guys that are captains, guys that are going to bleed the colors, and guys that want to be here. I think most importantly, we're not a household name by any means, and I think that you get an opportunity and you live through it, and you want to be part of something that's special. And I think as these players are going through their process, there's a lot to choose from. Sometimes not patience is a virtue, I think, and looking at your options when you have them. But I think reaching out to any program you're interested in, everybody's got the generic email. We all get them. Keep it simple, but pick up a phone. I think communication's a long lost art right now. It's a skill that we have to teach, because my guys included, they'll talk in the locker room, but God forbid they talk on the ice. So we've gotten creative with some of that stuff. I won't put that on air, but we try to get our guys to communicate. But when I get a call from a kid, hey, at least the kid's picking up the phone, trying to be different, differentiate yourself from the other guys, because most of these hockey players are the same. What's going to separate you, whether it's grades, whether it's skating, whether it's ability? Like, we want guys that can skate and obviously have the skill to make plays, but at the same time, your character is going to be a big piece of it, and what you do off the ice is a huge part of what we're looking for.
I cannot speak louder for the crew at Albertus Magnus College. I cannot speak louder about my experience at Albertus Magnus College. I did have like a bat issue at one point in McAuliffe dorms. I had a bat come through a window, but they've dealt with that ever since. It's been promised to me that the bat issue is done. It's gone.
Albertus is certified bat-free.
Not certified bat-free, just just in the dorms. You don't have a bat.
On campus,
they're
take them out.
They're bat adjacent.
Yeah.
Bat adjacent.
But it's a memory that I have, and that's the memories we build.
I had one at Springfield back in the day too. So
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Up there in the New England region, you got to watch out for bats, but you got to also watch out for Albertus Magnus College hockey. This is a program, it's an organization. I know he's got some guys playing golf as well in the golf program. There's plenty of opportunities for you as an athlete, as a student, and as a person living in New Haven, Connecticut. It's a place that worked well enough for me to put me here today on a microphone, on a camera, with a show with my name on it, wearing a crazy jacket each and every week.
I got to get one of those jackets too.
They are pretty nice. We'll bring one.
I'll get that Falcon head for Tampa. You got to get me a jacket.
Let's do that. We'll trade Frankie the Falcon head. I'll get you this jacket. Coach Kyle Wallack going to get back to work here, and we are going to get to red zone hockey action before we have our next guest join us in. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Coach. Good luck. Go get back to work. Go find the next Falcon out here.